Hey y'all, it's me again, Valerie. And welcome back to my yarn room. Yay! Okay, today I want to attempt to teach the V-stitch ruffle border. It is so simple, but it's one of my favorites. And look, it's gorgeous. It puts a lacy, ruffly border on anything you make. You can put it on clothing. You can put it on blankets. You can put it on, like I said, anything you want. It's just gorgeous. Ooh, I just thought about it. Do a circular doily and put this stitch around the outside edge. Oh, yeah, that'd be beautiful. Okay, y'all want to learn how to make this? Cool, because I want to teach it. All right, I'll be right back, and we'll get started on doing it. All right, I'm back. All right, and like I said, this is just a chain with some double crochets going down it. Okay, that's simple. And your stitch count on this border does not matter at all, because you go in every single stitch. So it doesn't matter if you've got an even or an odd number. That's why this is one of my favorites. Your stitch count don't matter. Okay. As usual, I don't like to start off with a slip knot. I like to start off by just putting my hook in my first stitch, grabbing my yarn, pulling it through, and doing a chain one. Okay? Now I'm holding that tail, because if you don't, it'll slip on you. So I'm holding that tail, and in this first stitch, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do a double crochet, and I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to come back in it. I'm working over that tail, and I'm going to do another double crochet. Okay? Now, for y'all experienced people, y'all know that that's a V-stitch. But for beginners, they don't know that. So, we're going to tell them this is a V-stitch. And the reason why it's called a V-stitch is because it's in a V. Okay, there's multiple ways you can do a V-stitch. You can do a double V-stitch, which is 2 double crochets, your chain, and 2 double crochets. Okay? There's other ways you can do the single V-stitch by adding chain. See, I just chained 1, but you can chain 2, you can chain 3, chain 4, whatever. But if you got a pattern and it calls for a V-stitch, that's what it's talking about. Or if it's called for a double V-stitch, it means 2 double crochets, chain however many it says, and 2 double crochets. Okay, so now that we've got that, what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to put a V-stitch with a chain 1 in every single stitch. Now, I did not chain 1 in between my 2 V-stitches. Okay? I mean, if you wanted to, you could. And I think that would be pretty, to put a chain in between your V-stitches, because when you come back, I'll explain why. We're going to do 2 rows. Sorry, had to check my puppy. She's good. Okay. We're going to put another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. Okay, now we're going to move that tail. I done worked over it enough. Especially considering I'm not going to keep this, I'm just going to pull it out. Okay, and we're going to do another V-stitch, which is a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. Now, you'll notice that it's like pulling down. Well, it's supposed to. It's okay. And I'm going to do a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. Okay, a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. Now, I want you to continue that throughout this whole chain, okay? Or chain, gosh. Oh, I want you to continue that throughout your whole work, okay? Now, if you're working this on an item that is all the way around, like a blanket or the bottom of a shirt or something like that, what you're going to do at the end, because I'm not doing that, I've got just a regular straight line of stitches. Okay, but if you're working it in something that connects, when you get over here to the end, where that you started, okay, you'll notice here on the end, you've got a little V right here. Okay, well that's your chain 1 that you started with. The one right above it, that one right there, that's the top of your V-stitch. So you want to slip stitch in that one. And then there's your chain 1 and there's your other double crochet. Okay, so slip stitch into the top of your first double crochet. Alright, I'll be right back and I'll show you how to do the second row. Alright, I'm back. And excuse me. Very sorry. COPD. Okay. If you'll notice that we started ruffling. Okay. Mine's curling because all I'm doing is working a swatch. So mine's curling. Alright, now, I got to the end and I put my last V-stitch in and I chained, let me get back on camera. I got to the end, I put my last V-stitch in and I chained 1. So now we're going to turn it over. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch right here into the first chain 1 of our first V-stitch. Okay, then we're going to chain 1. Alright, and we're going to work a V-stitch in that. Which is double crochet. I'm doing a chain 1 and a double crochet. Okay, so you got a V on top of a V. Now, this is what I was talking about that would be cool to chain 1 in between your V-stitches, because you can add extra ruffle if you do that and put a V-stitch in those. But for this one, we're not doing that. We're going right over here to our next chain 1, not in between them. And we're going to put a V-stitch. And we didn't chain in between. Okay, then we're going to go right here to our next chain 1 space. and double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet. Alright, and we're going to do that the whole way down. See, I'm not putting one in between my V-stitches, just in the chain 1 space of my V-stitches. Okay, so that means you skip that one, because that's not a chain 1. And you go right here to this one, and put a V, which is a double crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet. But now, I will be right back. I'm going to work the whole thing, and I'll be right back. Now, let me do a couple more on camera. I got time. Y'all got time? Okay. Alright, we're going to put a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. And we're going to skip that because that's not a chain 1. And we're going to go right here. We're going to put a double crochet, a chain 1, and a double crochet. You know what? I want to switch it up. Yeah. Alright, let's straighten this out and we'll see. Okay, it's all ruffly, right? That's going to be a pretty border on something. But let's see what happens when we do more than just in the chain. How much more ruffle we get. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go in between them V-stitches right there and put a V-stitch. And then let's go into that chain 1 and put a V-stitch. And then let's go in between them V-stitches again and put a V-stitch. And if I'm going too fast for y'all, if y'all don't know the stitch, the double crochet and stuff like that, well, I overlap my, there. Yeah, sometimes you'll overlap your pieces. All you gotta do is just pull them apart. It's fine. But if I'm going too fast for y'all on this tutorial, and you don't know how to do the double crochet and stuff like that, well, I've got videos teaching the basic stitches. So, check that out. I don't have them in a playlist right now, but I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, if I don't have them in a playlist right now, I will put them in a playlist. And we're just going to keep on putting V-stitches all the way in between every single one. Because we're not only doing the chain 1s, we're also doing the in between the V-stitches. Because I ain't seen it, so I want to see if it makes it any lacier by adding more stitches. I'm sure that it does. Well, see, I've been messing up. I ain't even put my daggone chains. It's that easy. Okay, so now we chain 1. And then we put another one. I bet you I've missed others too. I'm sure of it. But anyway. Okay, we'll go in this one. It ain't really that big of a deal if you do mess up a little bit, because nobody's perfect. And honestly, I think it gives your work character. And that's all it is to the V-stitch. Okay, now I wanna see this. I wanna lay it down and, oh my goodness, yeah, it does give more. It gives a lot more ruffle. So in between your V-stitches, if you want more ruffle, do a chain 1 in between your V-stitches. And if you want your ruffle to be even longer, on your next row, chain 1 in between your V-stitches and go back and do another row. It's that easy. But see, this little part right here, it's got a little bit of ruffle, but not like that. That's some ruffle. Alright. Well, this is going to be all for today. And I will probably be back tomorrow to do another border. There's so many good borders out there. And I'm having fun doing the borders. Alright, so see y'all in the next one. Hit that subscribe button. When you do, hit that bell beside of it and click on the word all. That way you don't miss none of my tutorials. Every time when I put something up, it'll send you a notification. Hit that like button and tell everybody that you know about me, if you like me. Okay, so we almost at 100. The last time I looked, which was last night, I haven't looked today, I was at 93. So when we get to 100, somebody's gonna get some pretty cool stuff. Alright, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all.